Scott Brown here. Welcome to another exciting episode. I've always said that you should work with as many carpenters as you possibly can. Get as much variety and ways of approaching the trade of carpentry as possible. Each carpenter does the same job in a different way. If two carpenters are asked to build the same wall, you might end up with the same wall at the end, but they'll take two completely different roads to get there. And that's because we all have different approaches, different techniques, and if you work alongside a dozen carpenters, you can cherry pick those techniques and make yourself into the unique carpenter that you want to be. That's how I've always looked at it anyway. Now, recently I had my friend Caden, the Canadian carpenter, helping me out at my house, and he helped me out hugely. The way he approached his method was via lists. He would make a list at the start of the day, and then he'd methodically go through it. Frame the wall, insulate, chuck the nogs in, whatever it is. He'd check it off as he went, and he said that that helped him just stay organized, know what to do next without having to think about it all day. And the reason I say that is because that is how we're going to approach today's exciting episode. We're going to do it Caden Canadian style. We're going to make a list, we're going to check our way through it as we get ready for this pre-line inspection on my bathroom renovation. Let's do it. We have the shower base. It is here. The pre-formed shower base. So this part of the foam panel here is thicker than that part, making a slope down to the drain, which is where this gap is. And the whole thing's made out of a rigid foam, and it's got a concrete screed on both sides, making it possible to adhere to the panel on both sides. Now, the fact that this panel is here is great because it tells me where the drain location is going to be. That's the first thing I need to do to let the plumber finish what he needs to do. Well, that was a lot of work. Now is the moment where we just cover it all up. I grabbed a random handful of screws, and I got one more screw to put in. And this is the last screw in my handful. Totally empty. I mean, what are the chances, right? What are the chances? It's a very intense rainbow. Service cavity. I've been putting this throughout the house, on every single room that we've renovated so far. If you've been watching the channel, you would have seen that. And it's no different here in the bathroom. However, we're increasing it. Because it's going to have tiles, because it's going to have villa board, it needs horizontal battens at 400mm centers. That's really close together. There's a lot of weight there, a lot of weight in the tiles, a lot of weight in the villa board cement sheet substrate that goes beneath the tiles. So I've been leveling, packing and screwing this service cavity all yesterday, and I'm still not done. These are the horizontal ones. We also need vertical ones, and they have to be on every sheet join. We're going to run the sheets vertically, and even in between the sheet joins I need some vertical ones for different fixings. It's a lot of add-ins, it's a lot of time, but it needs to be done. might happen. Alright, the nail gun was a bit too intense. So we're gonna have to screw it in. And even the screwing's a bit intense too. Plumbers arriving this morning, and this here is a good example of having to think multiple steps ahead when it comes to doing bathroom renovations. So this is going to be where the drain is. So the wall lining goes on, first row of tiles will go on, and then we'll have our 78mm wide channel drain. All of that gets us to this point where Aaron the plumber can drill a hole in the right place. How long would that have taken with copper?
Ages, bro. Absolutely ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do bugger all with copper now.
Yeah.
Some clients still ask for it and you try and talk them out of it. The
Yeah.
cost-wise for it is not worth it. No warranties, no nothing with copper anymore, pretty much.
Gee.
Yeah, so anything bent over a 45 degree, there's no warranty.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, and now they've brought in another rule that we're not allowed to braise within, I think it's 350 mils of a combustible source.
Which
so
is...
everything. Yeah, I think they're trying to push because we've got crimp fittings now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
if
wow.
you're using a crimp fitting on copper, you might as well just use plastic pipe with the 10-year warranty and all of that kind of stuff. So,
Gee.
so I'll get you to go under there with the glue.
What you doing here, buddy? Oh, we haven't been filming anything, but Jess and I have teamed up and done all the installation. We have an inspection any minute now. We're just putting this last layer in on the service cavity. Whew, probably a couple more blocks there.
It's looking great.
We've done pretty well, eh?
You're going to pass. It's going to be fine because you've been working very hard
Yep,
and you've done a very tidy job. We've
absolutely.
been working on it together the last 2 days.
You enjoyed it?
I do. I love working with you. Ugh.
Nice. This is what we want our vanity to look like. Imagine that's a sink, that's a piece of wood, nothing else, just floating there. That's the plan anyway, and we've got a bracket that will help us achieve that plan. But before we show you that, a little word from our sponsor. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform where you can build your online presence and run your business. I don't know how to code. You might not know how to code. Maybe you do. I don't know. But if you don't, Squarespace is a great website builder for you. That's because it has drag and drop functionality, it has thousands of templates to choose from, portfolios, galleries, custom domains, as well as domain transfer. So if you already have a custom domain on a different platform, you can bring it over to Squarespace. And they have e-commerce built in, as well as all the major payment services. They even have AI helping build websites now. You just put a little bit of data about your website and the magic of AI does the rest, generating a website for you while you just tweak it to make it just right. Squarespace have been a great sponsor of this channel, and they make a great product, which is the main thing. And they also offer a free trial, so you have nothing to lose. But once you're ready to launch your own website, make sure you go to squarespace.com/Scott Brown Carpentry, and then you'll get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Alright, let's go put these brackets in with Shane. And these are the brackets here. That's 10mm thick stainless steel. This is heavy. This is very heavy. And we've got 3 holes here. And we're going to bolt that into the stud, and I'll show you how we do that now. So this is going to go in here like this. And then we bolt it in there. These brackets are so heavy that I think the brackets need to be here to hold. What am I trying to say?
What are you trying to say, Scott?
I know I can't get this across in a video, but these are so heavy. I think they're the heaviest part of this whole vanity, which there's an irony there. The brackets that are there to hold the thing up are the heaviest thing. So they kind of need to hold themselves up. I don't know. But the bolts will hopefully do the job.
So really it's the bolt doing all the work.
It's all on the bolt.
How many brackets have you bought?
3.
And how much did they cost?
It doesn't matter.
No, how much did they cost?
Over $500.
Just, I feel like sometimes people forget just how expensive New Zealand is.
Anyway.
Hey, mate, no. Tell us in the comments, how much do 3 solid steel brackets cost where you're from?
The ones off the shelf are expensive enough, and they're only galvanized steel, and they're not big enough. So this is what we had to do. This is going to be part of a video. Do you remember the floating shelf video, Jess, from years and years ago?
That's a real blast from the past.
Well, when I filmed
That's
that,
back when you didn't have any grey hairs.
how dare you? When I filmed that, when I filmed that video, I filmed it as we were doing other things, so it wasn't part of like the vlog, and I just saved all the clips, and then I did one standalone video for the floating shelf. I'm gonna do that for this.
Are you letting me know or the audience know?
I'm just telling you, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can tell them too.
Okay.
Am I stopping?
Yep. We're doing a dummy one first. Does that feel strong?
Yeah, and as long as it doesn't split it.
Yeah, that's the thing, eh?
Yeah. Try pulling that out. See,
Yep.
the test worked.
Feel alright?
Feel.
It looks good.
Feels. It's all about feel. Still more.
What do you reckon?
You could jump on that,
Yeah, even with just one bolt?
even with one bolt, but should we put more in? Save money.
It's actually
It's
not.
actually pretty good.
After all the work that goes into this bathroom, we're at that moment, that beautiful moment, where it all goes on the wall and you hide all the work, and it looks like it was always like that. Only you and I, and Shane, will know how much work was put into that wall. Oh, and Caden, and Robbie, and Ray was here as well. Okay, let's just get to it. Now we're talking, eh?
Perfection. Get used to it.
So that is the sound of Shane cutting the 9mm villa board. It's cement sheets, compressed cement sheets. We have to screw these villa board sheets at 150mm centers, which is quite a lot, and that is because it's going to be tiled. And when you tile the villa board, you don't actually glue the villa board sheets on, so these are just screwed on. Hence the reason we have to put so many screws in. So there's only one sheet of plasterboard here in the whole bathroom, apart from the ceiling, of course. And this sheet is behind a cabinet that's above that toilet. Because it's behind a cabinet, it doesn't need to be tiled. Because it's getting tiled, doesn't need to be Villeboard. Another bonus. There is a bonus. Oh, that's gonna be tricky. And over. Easy as that. Oh, good timing, Shane. Do you want to come and help me lift this? I put it in and didn't realise how heavy it was. If you could just help me hold this up. It's like I'm precariously holding it.
Wondering whether you were videoing at this stage. I thought, do I interrupt?
Another benefit to having this just be plasterboard behind the cabinet is that that wall is the plumbing for the toilet that we did earlier, or late last year. So we've got access to the plumbing here. And also we've done a cutout here above this toilet because I was a little bit concerned that we're going to tile all around this toilet and then if there's any issues with the toilet we'll never be able to access it. But we've got this little cutout here now where you could probably get the cistern out if the cistern ever failed. So it's a little bit of future proofing as well. Oh, yeah. Done yourself, Shane. Look at that, eh?
Toast.
Oh, bathrooms. You're coordinating all these people. You're trying to get everything done methodically, and you don't really want any downtime because the more downtime you have, the less bathroom time you have. Although I built a very nice outdoor shower, so I can't complain too much. And you're probably getting a good idea of just how hectic it's been by the state of the workshop behind me. It's a total mess. I'm looking forward to having time to clean that up. But there's still plenty to do. We're lining the walls now. We're closing the place in. And with every layer of this bathroom, the bathroom gets smaller and smaller. And I think I'm losing my voice as well. So yeah, that was the Caden approach to carpentry. How he methodically goes through lists to get his work done. I think it's very effective. And all that B-roll that you saw of like the Kias and shots around New Zealand, that was shots that Caden has been filming while he's been traveling the South Island. He's been uploading them to Drive and sharing them with me to use on the videos. So he's still helping us out even though he's not working here. Big shout out to Shane as well for helping me out this week. That's been a huge boost. And thank you for watching these episodes, watching these videos and supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. Alright, see you in the next exciting episode.